up, Word? It's your boy JusRzd, and today we are going to be reviewing Season 3, Episode 3 of Bel-Air. Anybody that knows me knows I am a huge fan of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, my favorite sitcom of all time. But so me and wifey tapped in with Bel-Air. We've been down since Season 1, and this show is dope. So we're going to kick it off, going straight in with Episode 3, starting right where Episode 2 left off. We have Will and Carlton celebrating their success with new merch. They're creating their logo for the company that they presented to Vic Mensa's character in episode 2, titled Black Cess. And they're coming up with merch ideas, coming up with a logo idea, and they finally get together a logo. They get excited. They create some merch. They have t-shirts and tank tops for the women. And they're showing Jazz. They're super excited. Jazz is a little excited, but he's also, you can tell he still has a lot of things on his mind as far as everything going on with his shop. We actually meet a new character. I believe her name is Yolanda. She's running as a congresswoman, or she's trying to become a congresswoman or trying to become a state rep. I don't remember exactly what her title is, but I know she's into politics. And she's talking about Jazz. Her and Jazz went to high school together, and it's dope to see it's dope the way that they position each and every character in this particular show to have individuality in their own lives and their own drives and their own purposes outside of just all knowing each other. You know what I mean? Outside of just coming together on the show. It's like you can tell they have their own things going on, which is dope because it gives characters different motivation. Not everybody has the same motivation. Not everybody has the same thought process and everything. So it's dope the way that each character is written in the way that they give them different ideas and upbringings and different things to really individualize each particular character. So I always thought it was dope the way they approached it. So it's interesting seeing, like I said, Will and Carlton super excited. They show it off to Jazz, and we see them showing it off to Lisa and Jackie at the country club, and we see a little bit of tension brewing between Lisa and Jackie, between their interactions with Will and Carlton and also their interactions with Aunt Viv as well. Aunt Viv's completely clueless. She doesn't know what's going on, but she senses the shade. She senses the tension. And she's like, yo, what's going on? Did I do something wrong? She was just like, nah, you didn't do anything wrong. But her and Will had a thing. They used to be an item. She was like, ooh, and I got her a job here. Now all y'all are working together. My bad. She was like, nah, I mean, helping people is kind of what you do. And she was like, well, you always kind of choose the high road, Lisa. And so it was interesting when they were introducing the merch to Jazz. Jazz was loving it. He told them about a car show he was going to later that weekend. So of course they were like, yo, this would be a dope opportunity to network and just get our name out there. So they're like, yo, we're going to the car show. They also invited Lisa and Jackie to the car show. And Carlton kind of looks at Will like, you just love brewing chaos, don't you? Just because it's just like, bro, you got your ex and your girl. Not only do y'all all work together now because of your aunt, but now you also invited them to events where we're all going to be together promoting our brand. Like, yeah, it's a little messy. So shout out to Carlton for kind of calling Will on his stuff. And Will's still kind of oblivious. He's like, yeah, whatever. It ain't gonna be done. So it's just interesting. We also pick up with Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil. We see Aunt Viv's still a little, her discernment is kicking in. She's like, something was off with Shorty at the job. You know what I mean? Like, she asked Uncle Phil about it. He kind of dismissed it, but she still can't shake the feeling that something's a little off. So she asked Jeffrey about it. Jeffrey's just like, I mean, I don't really think there's nothing going on. Of course Jeffrey knows, but he loved them just like they love him. So he ain't trying to cause no dissension in the ranks or anything like that. So it's just like, Uncle Phil comes in there, and you just kind of see that there's tension consistently building in their relationship. And it plays out later in the episode, but we also cut to Aunt Viv and having looks like a little lunch. I don't know if she's at the country club or if she was just out and about having a lunch with her daughters, Ashley and Hillary, and she was trying to discuss some things about the wedding with Hillary and her fiance, and Hillary kind of seems out of it, and Ashley's kind of looking at Hillary like, we already know Ashley don't like the fiance. She really loves Jazz, but she don't like the fiance like that. But Hillary's just kind of out of it because she's still thinking about the kiss with Jazz. And lo and behold, through the conversation, and Viv has to leave and go meet up with Lisa. But through the conversation, we actually find out that Ashley saw Jazz and Hillary kiss, and Hillary's just like, yo, this stays between us. You can't be talking about this to any and everybody. And it was just interesting to see the dynamic of the two sisters. It was interesting to see the dynamic of just the family in general, Aunt Viv, her two daughters, and just everything that was going on surrounding their particular relationship. It was intriguing. It was intriguing the way that they played it out. And we see later on in the episode, Hillary's just kind of still mulling everything over. She's feeling guilty for what transpired with Jazz. She felt like she needed to confess. She even talks to her social media friend about it when they go play tennis at the country club, and it's just like, yeah, I need to tell him. And she's like, what do you need to tell him for? If it didn't mean anything, just move on. And Hillary's just like, the guilt's kind of weighing on her, so she eventually feels the need to go tell him. But before all that happens, we actually go back to the actual car show event, which is the event of the episode. And we have, of course, Will and Carlton succeeding in networking in promoting Black Access at the car show. We actually have somebody approach Jazz wanting to buy his old school vehicle, his old school car, he offers him 30 racks on the spot. And Jazz is just like, man, first of all, we didn't even know Jazz was selling his vehicle. But it kind of comes out to deal with all these property tax issues that he's facing with his business. And he's just like, man, I don't want to sell the vehicle, but at the same time, 30 racks would kind of put me in a good spot. You know what I mean? So through the whole night, through the whole process, we actually see, like I said, Will, Carlton, Lisa, and Jackie kind of promoting Black Access and kind of becoming a big thing on social media. And Will and Carlton also invited Frederick to the car show, so he pulls up and he's networking and gallivanting. I just like the way that sounds. He's networking and gallivanting around the car show, and they see him. He's taking money. He was just like, they're like, yo, what are you doing? He's just like, hey man, when the nighttime hits, I'm taking bets for the car races. They're gonna be street racing. And they was just like, oh, well, there's that, because they were just there to market and network. Then Will ends up meeting back up with Jazz at his vehicle, and Jazz is kind of just super somber, super in deep thought, and just kind of mulling over everything. He feels like a failure. He feels like his business is failing. He feels like he's failed his family. He feels like he's failed his uncle. He just got a lot on his shoulders, and it's just not panning out the way that he would like for it to. And of course, Will being his boy, and Jazz looking out for Will so much when he first came over from Philly. It's just like, man, if there's anything that I could do to stop you from feeling this way or to look out for you, we were already giving 50% of our proceeds to your business to help out your business, but let me see if there's anything else I could do. And Will comes up with the bright idea. Let's see if we can help out Jazz by putting on a street race, or entering into the street race and betting. If we win, 35 racks go to Jazz. If we lose, then the buddy who wanted to buy Jazz's car ends up with Jazz's car. So they end up racing, and they start out very, very slow, but they end up winning in the end. And through that process, Jazz ends up getting to keep his car, and he ends up getting the 35 racks for his vehicle. For the bet. And now he's able to put him in a decent spot when it comes to his property taxes. He's still in the hole, but not in the hole as much. And so it's interesting, as they're leaving and celebrating, we have Lisa, we have Will, we have Carlton and his girlfriend. By the way, I don't really like her. Something about her character, I don't really she's not really working for me. And it's not the actress' fault. She's doing a phenomenal job playing her. It's just the character choices that the character's making, the different things, the way she chimes in. I don't know. It just seems like she's trying to. It seems like she's trying to stir up some mess and cause some dissension in the ranks, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. She just rubs me the wrong way. But shout out to the actress who's playing her though. She's doing a good job. But we have them celebrating, walking down the street, and then Jackie comes up to him and is like, "Hey, I want to go get a bite to eat from this restaurant. I know the owner. They said that the kitchen will be open if we pull up." Lisa has had enough. Throughout the day, you can just see the tension rising, and this is her straw breaking the camel's back moment. She was just like, you know what, dang. she just snapped on her and kind of walks off. Will's kind of like, I don't know what to do in the moment. So Jackie gets mad because she's like, dang, I held you down for the longest and whatever, and walks away. And then Will goes to chase Lisa. And Lisa's like, this is why I can't do titles with you, because you don't know what you want, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, dang, Will, you kind of set yourself up for failure in that one. So Will's just kind of sitting there, just holding his L. Carl's girlfriend offers to take Lisa home, and Carl's just sitting there like, hey, man, I don't know what else to tell you. I told you this was a bad idea. And as they're kind of talking, we see Frederick. In earshot, we hear Frederick getting into it with a group of dudes. Apparently, they feel like he's shorting them on some money. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So of course, Will and Carlton try to intervene. Like, yo, chill. He not from here. Chill out. You know what I mean, it is what it is. Dude's like, yeah, bro owe me bread. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but bro owe me bread. So we gonna have to figure this out. And so everything gets super heated. Everything is about to break out into a fight. Police sirens click on. The police show up. Everybody scatters like roaches. And Will, Carlton, and Frederick end up escaping, and that's when we found out that Frederick actually did know what Buddy was talking about and did actually show them on the money and had the money on him. And Will's like, bro, what are you doing? Will and Carlton are like, bro, what are you doing? Like, this could have went completely left. The stuff that you do in the UK ain't gonna fly over here in Cali. Like, you can't do that. You can't operate like that. Like, it's not gonna work. And the whole time, they're just kind of going back and forth with one another. Frederick standing his ground 10 toes, like, man, forget them jokers. Will and Carlton are like, bro, you need to chill. Jeffrey ends up pulling up. Well, we see a car pull up, and they're nervous because they don't know what's going on, but it ends up being Jeffrey. Jeffrey ends up taking them home. Frederick kind of lies about the entire situation to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey already knows off top that he ain't telling the whole truth. You can tell in his face, Jeffrey's just like, I don't believe that story. And so, with him not believing that story, he ends up taking them home, and we actually see Will and Carlton confront Frederick about it a little later. He kind of blackmails them in a sense. It's just like, yo, if I tell my dad everything that's going on, if I tell Jeffrey everything that's going on, I'm telling him everything. So that means he's gonna know about y'all street racing. And so, of course, they're not wanting that to get out. They're just kind of like, dang, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We don't know what to do. And later, lo and behold, later on in the episode, we see cut to Hillary. She actually shows up at her fiance's practice, his first scrimmage. They're running plays. She's like, yo, I gotta talk to you. His coach calls everybody to the huddle. So he's like, all right, I gotta chop it up after practice or whatever. So we'll chop it up later. She's like, all right, well, I'll be here. Now, mind you, Hillary, you could have waited to after practice to try to tell him what's going on. But anyway, throughout the scrimmage, we hear that her fiance has a great chance to make MVP this season, and we see the scrimmage. He's catching touchdowns. He's catching all these different things, and he catches the touchdown and gets hit in the process of catching the touchdown, and it looks like a really hard hit. But he gets up like everything's good, takes off his helmet, walks back to the huddle. As he's walking back to the huddle, he starts to slow down, and he passes out. And as he passes out, everybody's like, yo, what's going on? It's pandemonium. And he was like, yo, he's not okay. And then the episode ends right there. But before that happens, cut back to Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv. Aunt Viv is actually in the process of being spammed by a local artist on IG or whatever. She ends up having Hillary block her while they were at the dinner. But they end up coming to find out who that artist is and actually setting up a meeting with them a little later. That doesn't happen this particular episode, but they did set up the meeting. And also throughout Aunt Viv's day, she actually goes to meet Uncle Phil's business associate, who actually kissed him and has been acting super uncomfortable the entire time. And so they have a conversation. Uncle Phil unfortunately never actually confessed what transpired to Aunt Viv, which he should have, because it wasn't something that he initiated. It was something that his business partner did. And so because he didn't come forth with that information and wasn't honest about it, now Aunt Viv is going to her, finding out the information, coming back, and now they get into a huge heated argument about everything. Uncle Phil, for noble reasons, didn't want to add to the stress of everything that was going on with Carlton, everything that was going on with her being in a new position, with him being in a new position, with them being business partners. He didn't want to add to the stress with everything and their history and all of that. But you still should have been honest, Uncle Phil. In that moment, you should have been honest, but he didn't. And so now it's causing angst. And unfortunately, with them having a big argument, Carlton overhears, and he's just kind of shook and listening because they're yelling. And you can see he's worried because it's his parents and he loves them. He doesn't want them to break up or get a divorce or anything like that. So I feel him. But yeah, like I said, the episode ends with Hillary's fiance passing out on the field. And I'm not gonna hold you, this particular episode was chock full of a lot of things going on. It had some fun, we had the nightlife, we had the networking, we had the street racing. It was a lot of good times. I'm not gonna hold you. I would probably rate this particular episode, I'll probably give it like I give it like a 8.5. I give it like an 8.5. Episode 3 was actually pretty solid. Had a lot of drama, had a lot of build up. We see the angst building between Will, Lisa, and Jackie. And later on in the episode, we actually see Will make a decision and choose Lisa over Jackie and just kind of reassure her, let her know ain't nothing going on between me and Jackie, but we can actually make this relationship official. And they do towards the end of the episode. So that was actually pretty dope to see the growth in them of being in relationships, trying it, now being on a no title situation, to now at the end of this episode when everything blows up in their face, they actually make it official and become an official couple. So that was pretty dope. Like I said, I really don't like Carlton's girlfriend, but shout out to the actress who plays her because she's doing a great job. But I just don't like her character choices and I don't like the character. The actress is doing a good job, but I don't like the character. But it's just dope to see, like I said, everybody just have their own goals, have their own motives, have their own passions and purposes in this show, and not just their passion and purpose being them in the show and in the family. So I really think that's dope, though. I feel like the show is definitely super well written, and I feel like you should add them to your watch list if you haven't already. So chop it up in the comments. Put some comments down below. How do y'all feel about this particular episode? What did y'all like about it? How did y'all feel about the different dynamics of the relationships? And just everything that transpired in this particular episode, episode 3 of season 3 of Bel-Air. Let's chop it up in the comments about it. Did you enjoy it? Have you seen this episode yet? Are you planning on waiting till all the episodes drop before you watch it, or are you currently watching them as they drop? I'm noticing they're dropping them in chunks. It looks like they dropped the first 3 episodes and they dropped another 3, then they dropped 2 more. So I'm a little behind, but I'm catching up. And I also see that the Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings series on Amazon, dropped 3 episodes as well. So I'm gonna get to that and review that as well. But right now we talking Bel-Air. Like I said, I give episode 3 of season 3 a 8.5. Well done episode. Really good in my opinion. I'm interested to see though how they're gonna do with Hillary's fiance. Is he gonna die like Trevor did? I'm interested to see that because Trevor died on the proposal. Hillary Banks, will you marry me? So So yeah, he died on the proposal. he died on the proposal. So she at least got engaged at this particular point. So I'm interested to see, are they gonna kill him off? Is he gonna die in this moment? I don't know, but I'm locked in and I'm tapped in. So let me know in the comments below how you feel about it. I love seeing the parallels between the sitcom and this new dramatic adaptation of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I'm loving seeing the different storylines that they're choosing to pick in part. But yeah, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we drop a new video. Like I said, I'll be reviewing Bel-Air and Rings of Power. I'll probably review Penguin and maybe Agatha all along as well. But we'll see, because that's a lot. But let me know in the comments below if you have anything you want me to review or react to. And never forget, it's FreeSoul to the show free. Let's get it.